Coming up on this week's All About Hennessey show, we learn about getting ready to plant your vegetables and flowers this spring. School enrollment is now much easier, and the Hennessey elementary students put on a really big parade. All this and much more on this episode of the All About Hennessey show. This show made possible in part by Heritage Pharmacy, 529 North Main, Hennessey. Welcome to this edition of the All About Hennessey show. I think this is episode 3.
Okay.
3. Take my word for it.
Will do.
We'll check later. Today's guest is Eddie Taggart with Taggart's Garden Center. Did I say that right?
You did.
It is. Good deal. It's on the big sign. Renee Curry will be along here in just a little bit to talk about enrollment at the school. And, of course, Dr. Woods will be here shortly with the school update. So, did you go to the big parade today?
I did not.
Oh, you missed out.
I
was expecting, we got this memo that there was going to be a elementary school parade. And here, just watch this. The cold and drizzly rain couldn't stop the Hennessey Early Childhood Center parade this morning.
We are having a vocabulary parade. We're learning all about communities and what they want to be when they grow up. So you can see astronauts, firefighters, policemen, everything.
The children were cheered on by parents and most of the high school and middle school students as they marched along Mitchell Road. The parade was led by the Pride of Hennessey's marching band as the parade traveled south, then turned around and marched back north. The theme was occupations, what we want to be when we grow up. So, before we go on, I want to give a big shout out to our fans. You know, we've got, I don't know how many watch this, thousands, several, 3,000 to 5,000 people, depending on the
Millions.
topic. This one is going to be big because you're on it, okay? But we have a lot of international watchers, and one in particular is Andrea and Miško from Slovakia. And they actually wrote to us the other day and said they were big fans. And in all fairness, they're actually friends of ours and have come and visited Hennessey before. But they like watching this show and All About Hennessey just to kind of keep up with what they saw while they were here. So nice. Thanks for watching, guys. So if you live outside the United States, now we know a lot of people around Hennessey watch this, but if you live outside the United States, let us know. We'd like to know where you're watching from and kind of what you think of what's going on in little old Hennessey, America. Don't go away. In just a bit, Eddie will be back to tell us about the top 5 questions he gets about gardening. That ought to be good. And next, Renee Curry will be here with information about this year's school enrollment. This show made possible in part by Rayco Paraffin Service, slickline and paraffin scraping service since 1969. And we're back. And I have Renee Curry. Why are you here?
Well, we're going to talk about enrollment again.
That's it. Now, is this an electronic-y, gadgety thing kind of a deal? Or
Yeah. Well, we started online enrollment last summer because it was an emergency.
COVID thing.
Yes.
And it sort of worked.
Yeah. I spent all summer making forms and all of that and doing it, but we did it through our student information system.
Okay.
And so I've tweaked on the forms, and we are going to do pre-enrollment early, so we know about how many kids are going to be we need to prepare for, and it's going to be much easier and faster.
So how do they do that? Is there like a portal you go to?
Yeah, it's our WinGauge portal where the parents go to look at grades and stuff.
Okay.
It's the same place they went last year. They're going to use the same login that they used.
If you can remember it.
Well, you know, people don't remember that kind of stuff, but hey, I will love you if
That's
you
why
do.
Renee's here to help you get back in.
Yeah. So if you forgot it, just send me an email and I'll send you the login and a temporary password, and you'll just get going on there.
Perfect. And write it down this time.
Write it down, because we're going to do it every year. And you can even get on there like last week and say, oh, I changed my phone number, and you can log into WinGauge, change your phone number, and submit it. But most people
Oh,
don't.
so any of the school communication stuff works through there. So like if you got a new cell phone number, but you wanted to get the text messages, that's where you do it.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
very
it's
cool.
all connected.
Wow. So the voice message, the email, and the text are all built into that thing?
Well, kind of. We put everybody's information in there, and then the program that I use sucks it out of there, and we know everybody's email.
So it uses that as the information source to
Yes,
distribute all of this.
exactly.
Oh, that's pretty neat. I didn't realize how all that worked. The thing that wakes me up at 4:30 in the morning that there won't be school this week
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. That
Yeah.
comes from her, by the way.
Yeah, it comes from me.
So when you get woke up, it's Renee. Push
Well,
the button.
and lots of times I'm in bed using the app doing it, and when you hear me stutter, that means I didn't have the written thing in front of me to talk. So I'm going,
Where's my notes?
Yeah.
Yeah, you should write a script. You know,
Well,
so
I
you have-
do when it's on a computer, but when it's on the app, I can't. So,
There's
but
a
you
thing
know,
called
I've done it
paper-
also in a car.
Paper and a pencil.
Well, I've done it in a parking lot in my car too, and it was kind of tough.
Well, it's neat that you can interact with it, like, no matter where you are.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, years ago, we had no electricity at our house. I believe it was the ice storm of 2000, blah, blah, blah.
One of
And we had to cancel school. And so I'm sitting there in the dark with my phone and a flashlight trying to do the thing and canceled school.
That's funny. Renee and I are neighbors. She lives like over the fence, and there's us, and then about 10 houses just right here that are on Cimarron Electric. And if the power goes out, I turn my generator on. But the only way I know the power has come back on is Renee has yard lights,
Yeah.
and I can look and see, oh, lights are on.
Yep.
Turn the generator off
Yep.
and go back to.
They're the Christmas lights or they're the patio lights.
Depending on the
depending
time
on
of the
the
year.
time
If it's
of
summertime,
year,
they're patio lights.
Yeah.
But Christmas time, they're the same lights, but
Yeah.
they're now the Christmas lights. Very good. All right, what else did you have?
Okay, so whenever you log in to do your enrollment, you need to look for the little blue link that says enroll for 21-22. Because we can also have new kids. Like we had a new student, our parent went to enroll their kid for after spring break.
this year.
Yeah, so they had to choose enroll for 2021.
Well, that's important.
Yeah,
make
very
sure
important.
you got that second year in there, not the current
and
year.
and some people have already kind of done it, they also just click the update. Well, then we have to go in and cancel this thing, and then they can go enroll it. So make sure you're choosing enroll for 2021-22 year. When you complete everything, get all the forms and make sure everything's correct. You need to click a green check mark, and that submits it.
Okay.
Submits it to each school. Then the secretary, they've all been very good about checking them as soon as they come in. And once everything is done the way it needs to be done, then the secretary posts it, and then the system sends an email to the parent that did it and says, hey, your kid has been enrolled.
So if you don't get an email, something went wrong.
Right,
somewhere.
or you need to be watching your email because you may have to go back and correct something on the forms, like you forgot this and this. But
so
most
it'll
of the,
remind you that
right.
Okay.
And the forms last year, everybody had to type the name and the birthday and the date. I mean, they had to type all that stuff in. This year, it's all there.
So when you log in, all your stuff is there.
Yeah,
now.
like your student's name's going to be there, the correct grade and everything, and basically you answer the questions, and it forces them to sign it. It's going to say you can't get out of this form until you sign this. So it does that for them, and none of that happened last year. We had lots of people fill out the form, but they always forgot to sign it because they had to scroll down. And so now it kind of says, yoo-hoo, you've got to
It'll
sign
remind
this on.
you.
Yeah,
It's getting
yeah.
friendlier.
Oh, yeah, way friendlier.
Okay.
And let's see. Pre-K parents, kids that are parents that have a 4-year-old that's going to be a pre-Ker. Some of them may not have enrollment logins because they're new.
They're brand new.
Yeah, so we'll have my email here send me an email. I'll send you the login, and you can get started on that before we have the pre-K roundup, because we have a roundup for pre-K.
And that's coming when?
I believe it's the end of March, maybe, or sometime in April.
Okay.
But I will be there to help everybody along. We'll have some Chromebooks there. But there's a lot of the pre-K kids' parents that have already enrolled them that way. That's like a long thing that they've got already finished to get in preparation for that kind of thing. So that's a pretty awesome thing too, that we can do that. And if we see the need, we may have one day that in an afternoon or evening that parents can come maybe to the event center, and we can have computers for them to log in and
So
do
if
it.
you don't have great internet or a computer or all of the above, there's a fail-safe.
Right.
There'll be a day.
We couldn't do that last summer, but hopefully we can do this. But I think everyone's going to see that all the problems they had last year doing the enrollment, it's going to be way faster. I've had lots of people trying it out, and we've been open for a week on it, doing it. And we would like everyone to get this completed by May 1st. So if you haven't got it completed around the middle of April, we will probably start hunting you down and having you, log on.
Email has just become so important.
Oh, yeah.
For I don't know, like the official method of communication.
Right.
So you can.
Well, it saves a lot of paper for one thing.
Yep.
I mean, because lots of times the secretaries were running off papers and having to divide them up and hand them out. And so anytime we send something out, I usually do a call, which I don't really like doing the calls because nobody wants to listen to my voice. I don't know why.
Now there's a face to that voice.
Yeah. And so we do a call, and I do a short text that sometimes says, go check your email. And then the email I can do in English and Spanish.
Oh.
Yeah. I could do the voice in Spanish, but the people that speak Spanish don't think I sound
They don't know what you're talking about.
I could do it. I could read it, but they don't think I sound very good. But anyway, so that's the way we would communicate a lot of that. And then again, if you're not getting texts from school, please reach out to the secretaries, give me a call, and we can help you with that. But I know not everyone in the household wants to receive a text.
Sure.
At least if one person's getting it.
Yeah, it's important. I think there were some comments a few shows ago that I'm not getting anything. Well, if you have a kid in school and you're not getting regular text messages, something's wrong. So you call a school, and they'll point you in the right direction or send you over to Renee and get that straightened out.
Yeah, I saw that too. I said, well, I didn't get anything. Well, then, like you said, something's wrong, and we can get it fixed.
Sure.
So,
Okay.
So I think that is probably it.
Awesome. Very cool. So be sure to now. Where is the portal? Is it on the school website?
It's on the school website, and it's on there 2 or 3, 4 times. It's called the Wingage Parent Portal, or sometimes it could be called the Student Portal. It all takes you to the right place.
Okay. So go to the website. I'll put the website address right here, and
it's the school website.
The school website. Yep. And then sign up and get your kiddos enrolled.
Yep.
Very, very cool. All right. When we come back, Dr. Woods will be here with the official school update. Stay tuned. This show made possible in part by Painter Insurance, auto, home, and business. I don't have leprosy. I'm a bad plumber.
So are we on? Is the show on, or are you talking to me?
No, we're rolling. And
Okay.
I was going to tell everybody that if you see my hands are purple. Our hot water heater broke in our bedroom, flooded the whole house. And of course, cheapo Jack, I can fix that. And 3 days later, without water in the house, I got my hands all colored with that glue dye. I hate that stuff. And the water's back on.
Congratulations.
Yes, very cool.
Very nice.
There's a lot of OSSA state stuff going on.
Time of year.
Yes,
Time of year.
basketball was in that deal, and now the vocal department or
vocal
chorus,
band.
I guess, band is actually at an event. Well, this is showing.
They
yesterday.
went today.
Yesterday was in
Wednesday.
Enid.
Right.
Yep.
So I'm loading up the big bus, heading out.
Oh, you're going to take them up there?
No, me? No.
Not you personally. They are loading up.
They took the bus and the trailer, so they were either headed to ski or to the contest. And
you didn't know you had a ski team?
No, I did not.
Okay. But, and then powerlifting, I guess, is doing really well.
Yeah, they were at regionals last week, and I think all 4 that went to regionals, I think they all 4 qualified for state.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Very proud.
Yeah.
Proud of you guys.
Wrestling just wrapped up.
Yep.
They did really, really well as well, and they got a lot of kids participating in wrestling. And
I wanted to talk about that because some of these things I find out, like a share from Facebook and things like this, and people don't understand that the batteries in my magic wand have gone bad because we just don't know what's going on with all of the sports. I mean,
I don't know what's going on with everything that's going on in the school.
So I'm asking for your help, moms, dads, friends, whatever. If you are at an athletic event, I don't care if it's a state event or whatever, and something really cool happens, grab a photo and send it to me. I'll put my email address in the description of this video, and help us out, because if you send me stuff, we'll print it in our paper and put it on our Facebook page and the website and everything. We'll make you famous. So
nice.
I need help. Yeah,
look what it's done for my career.
Yeah, I know it.
Yeah.
Well, especially this time of year, there's so many things going on that it's really hard.
Keep it. Well, and you start getting in, track meets. I think we had a kid's going to a track meet tomorrow in Fairview, I believe is where it is.
And then the stock show was all last week. And
OYE is, I think, the week after spring break.
Oh,
when
really?
You have to go to OYE, but you have to go to see. Gosh, it's been forever since we showed cattle. But I do remember having Supreme Heifer at Fairview 2 years in a row. I don't remember how long ago it was that we had Supreme Heifer 2 years in a row at Fairview. But you start out with your local district and work your way up to different shows. Well, it's just like the basketball tournament.
I guess Kingfisher was 2 weeks ago, and then Enid was, what's Enid, district?
District.
Yep. So that's a big show.
Yeah. You have your local. Again, I'm going to say it wrong, and please, don't jump on me too badly about it, but I believe it's local, where it's just your local chapter.
Right.
And then you have your county, which will usually go to wherever your county fairgrounds are. And then you have your district, and then you have OYE.
And OYE's in Fairview, you think?
No, OYE's Oklahoma City.
Oh.
The big stock show.
The big house.
Yeah.
Very cool. Okay. Awesome. And then while we're on the sports thing, last week's playoff game with the basketball boys, we had posted, I posted on our Facebook page.
We didn't do anything.
No, it was me. That Morrison was going to broadcast the game. And they found that it was very cost prohibitive. OSSAA has some very, very rigid rules about broadcast. And it came down to, it was ludicrous money. What movie is that from? Ludicrous.
I don't know, but that's a band. That's a rapper.
Ludicrous Speed.
No.
Spaceballs.
Spaceballs. Oh, very nice.
It's a good movie.
That's kind of sporty.
Yes. So, anyway, at the last minute, we found out they weren't broadcasting the game, and we had to just do the best we could to move past that. So, squeaky door.
Yeah, that's the quietest Renee has come into a room that I think I could ever remember.
And now she's slamming the door. You have to open the door and turn the knob. The knob's broken. There you go. See?
So one of our fantastic technicians from the school is struggling with opening and shutting the door. Imagine.
But if it's a computer, she can kick its butt.
Whip it.
Yeah, but a doorknob, she struggles with the doorknobs.
Yeah. We work with all type.
All right, I think that's all I had.
Okay.
I guess we can get
So you can tell who our sponsor is? Do you do that now, or did you already do that?
No, I'll do that later.
Oh, you do
then
that?
when we get done. Yeah.
All right, very nice.
It's Eddie Taggart.
Yeah. And I just wanted to make sure I was able to say, he kind of grows on you.
You've been saving that, haven't you?
I have.
Yeah.
Since you told me that a little bit ago. I've been hanging on to that one. So, wrestling, again, they wrapped up, and I think that for an inaugural season went really, really well. 100-some kids in the club. That's the kiddos that aren't in school wrestling yet. And junior high and high school had good full teams, I believe. Again, but I think off to a good start. Love Coach Walker. He's quite a guy. He was on here, 2-3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Maybe
it was a couple of months.
Couple months.
Yeah.
Time flies. So we have another intern for the Dome. I think we're working on scheduling, because part of the reason we needed another intern was Jalissa plays softball in the spring, and so she's going to be gone some evenings. So
I thought you were working so hard you were getting into overtime pay situation.
No. She would earn every penny of it because she is a dandy. But we've got another person that Coach Hicks has been working on to get them in place, and hopefully that will allow us, when we get the schedule with the evenings in place, to maybe, again, we talked about expanding into the lunch, expanding into the morning, so we can get started on that. AVL is at the school right now.
This is exciting.
Yes, they've completed lunch, as we've heard anyway.
Long story, we won't go there, but
and they're in the building pulling cable, and so we will be able to expand what we can do through the streaming capability. When we built the video system that we used the last 3 weeks, it has the capacity to do a lot more than what we do with it. The cameras allow us to have live feed up on the big boards if we want to. At some point, the producer position will be its own thing. It's to that point now, but we'll just have to, because you could again start pulling up replay if you wanted to.
Instant
we
replays
could
and everything.
have video in the ticket booth so people can watch while they're taking tickets, but also in the foyer where they could watch as they come in. Over by the concession, we've got panels set up. So it will just.
So this is like the last piece to the audiovisual package that we developed for the Dome, and these are like really cool robotic cameras, and they can all be operated from the control room and
the media room and all.
Very, very cool. So we're working on getting
those are going into
where we can stream games,
and not only games but any event.
Well, any activity.
So when we have graduation,
we
can just send them right out. I don't know what the status will be of the how locked down we're going to still be in May. I would expect it to be a little bit looser, but I think we've demonstrated how we can successfully have an event in there.
Well, last graduation actually went very well.
Well, but we limited numbers pretty hard.
Oh, that's true.
So
no
this year, I think you were able to see how we can have things on the floor and still use the facility in the seating in the facility to maybe get a little closer. Again, I'm betting that you're limited to half capacity. Well, that's still for us 1,000 people.
Yeah, that's more capacity than you had in the auditorium.
Right. So again, if this show is being monitored by any governmental agencies or anything, I hate to say that, who's counting? So. Okay, that was AVL.
That was AVL. Yes.
So.
Did you want to talk about the tournament economic impact?
Well, yes, that's part of. So, would you like to do that now?
Sure.
So, we had the district, area, regional, and a 3A area tournament at Hennessey, and it went better than I could anticipate. The facility performed phenomenally well. We had a tremendous amount of compliments. There were a few folks who left saying something other than compliments, but they had to be assisted out. And I'm going to miss somebody, but Miss Avila, Coach Hicks, they were the site directors, did a fantastic job. Everybody in the concessions and everybody that worked the ticket, Rita, Patty, Carolina worked over there for a little bit. I'm getting a lot of people put in, and I apologize. Logan, I remember Logan and
well, I was
others.
just going to say the guys out in the parking lot cooking.
Yeah, absolutely. And I apologize on the concession stand folks, because I know Miss Matusik was there, Corey was in there some. We had a bunch of kids, some parents. Again, I apologize for not getting all those names for this show.
Do you have any idea how many total people we moved through town during that?
No, I do not.
But it was, each team had a couple of buses. Right. Well, clearly, 2 bus loads. So,
right. Well, and the thing, but as you get out of district, that quits being a boy-girl assured of being there, because if you get beat out in district, then you're either one of your two teams could.
That's true.
So we could have had 4 games and had. Well, we did have the final area was 4 teams, and there were 4 different teams playing. So, and of course they bring more fans and less players, but they bring more fans. And then the thing that really, there was 2 things, and Logan was a big part in the pulled pork nachos, and the folks from Squirtle had like a top 5, and his pulled pork nachos were the entire top 5. It wasn't like number 1 of the top. He was the entire top 5. and they talked about if you want to come see how to use a display board, come to Hennessey, because Ray Anafuxa, outside of Marion Matthew, is a phenomenal hand and shows a lot of sense and ability.
They're talking about the big 50-foot big screen
10 by
and
32.
the dome. And, I'm a marketing guy.
You are.
Everything's bigger.
And Todd Cameron, they just did an outstanding job of using the display to make everybody's time there that much more enjoyable, because the starters were being projected up on the screen every time a kid made a shot. Their picture went up, fireworks went off behind, and it just was something you're not going to get at any other facility in the state.
It's like being at a university game or a pro game, even with their big screen stuff like that.
A couple of guys, I talked with Monty Kinman today, who's with Heartland Seating and did the bleachers, talked about the places he's gone and heard about it, and how people are saying if it's not the top facility in the state, it's the top 5.
And the sound system, you can actually hear what the announcer's talking about.
No matter how loud.
Yep.
That's always sometimes you have to turn the volume up when you get that large a crowd, and we weren't even exceeding the capacity to what we're supposed to have, but we just have such a large capacity. It looks like it's a lot of people, but to fill that room with that quality of sound is quite a feat. Yep. And if you don't know it, which is what we don't want people going, wow, that sounds. We want them just to be able to enjoy it and benefit
sound
from the time,
shouldn't be something you notice.
Yes,
it should just be natural.
Yeah,
and
just feel right.
It really is.
So got everyone but 4 ladies. We had to take everybody out of the gym between games, not just between sessions, but between games. We had to empty the gym and sterilize the seating. Between sessions, they cleaned the gym. And that Genevieve Velez is the one that works over there all the time, and she is an angel.
She's the one with the backpack spray gun.
Yep.
That was pretty neat seeing how they sprayed out.
So one's a sprayer, but they also have they look like they're jet packs, but they're vacuum cleaners. But it looks kind of they have those on.
Yeah.
Ruth Beltram, Evelyn Montez, and Luz Escobedo. I would bow down if I hadn't had the wreck. So I'm limited on bow down.
He doesn't bend in the middle anymore.
Not as much. So I just do this. But I just can't applaud them enough with the work that they did, and they had it looking so nice, and it was so clean every session, every day. Again, kudos to them. And again, I apologize for the folks I left out, because there's just so many of them, and try to keep all the names straight. I was not able to do that. But again, Todd and Ray Ann stole the show with the media boards, and
very, very cool. I remember when we started with a drawing on a napkin.
Yep.
Yep. And
then we went to working on the scoreboards and stuff.
Yes.
So one thing I'd like to ask is, I'm going to tie these two together. When we passed the bond issue, we made 3 promises. One, that there'd be community access, and the walking track is a huge, huge part of that, and that's going really, really well. We were keeping our financing low. Our last bond that we sold at a 0.4% interest, not 4% interest, 0.4. And we wanted to be an economic engine for the community. And so what I would love to hear, if you have a business in town, if you've noticed effects of those last 3 weeks where we had tournaments, if you had buses stopping in, if you had families, people, fans, whatever, if you had an experience that you would not mind sharing, I would love to see that, and I think that would be something I'd love to share with the board.
I have a quote from Rhonda. I talked to Rhonda Stotts with Roosters this morning, and she said she had a significant increase in business during that time. Several buses, whole busloads came in and ate in her restaurant.
Yeah, and that's without us doing, because the next step will be, if we could find a good videographer that has the capacity to do ads and whatnot, we would like to be able to offer packages next year of, like during the breaks, we can run ads on the big boards.
Yep.
And so it could say, go to Roosters and enjoy a chicken fried steak and the best chicken nuggets around and corn bites and all that stuff.
Make them hungry.
Yeah, and show them where to go. They may not have recognized we had, of course, the family buffet. I'm not sure they're open that late at night, but.
Something we're going to do next year, or next event, is we're going to try to put together a package to reach out to the schools we know are coming and saying, here's Hennessey, welcome, here's what we have to offer. And then all of the restaurants and businesses will know when that herd of people are going to arrive and be open and ready and things like that. And then in conjunction with ads that we could be running on the big screen and things like that, all of that is an economic boost.
You just have to work in, and we have to work into it.
Yeah.
If we tried to do too much at once, the chance of failure would be just heightened, and we certainly don't want to have a bad first experience. So, again, had a great first one this year, expanding it to what we're doing. I started to explain where Hennessey was to a fellow one time. He goes, I don't need to know. We go to the quilt shop every weekend. So even if you're not an eatery, you might promote your business through that, and you just, again, never know who that's going to
the gift
impact.
shops and the Randa's Prairie Quilt and all of these kind of places. So,
and the idea is the more money we can put into the restaurants, the convenience stores, and places like that, then they're going to go spend more money here in town doing the things they need to do and getting the things they need to purchase. So, again, I feel like the Dome is well on its way to meeting those promises. Is that it?
Did you want to mention Teachers of the Year? Do you remember who they were off the top of your head?
I know. Thank you for putting.
Okay, I'm gonna.
Are you gonna edit this out?
I'm gonna insert the Teachers of the Year here
Because there's
four
me
of them
not
and it was
knowing
hard.
out when you put those in. So
Teachers of the Year were.
let me move my mouth like I know.
Insert here.
Yeah. So I will tell you, Lindsay Briley was the District Teacher of the Year.
Yes.
You remember that?
Yes.
So.
Elementary teachers of the year were all of them.
Yes, all of them were elementary teachers. Taylor Black was the early childhood. Who was the high school?
Jenna Matusig.
Very nice. Thank you, Miss Curry. That's very nice of you. So, all right. So there you go. We kind of stumbled through that, but
we might have to edit that. We'll see.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would hope.
Yeah.
But,
Okay. So, you want to talk about the official
right.
complaint?
So we had a meeting that got a little raucous Monday night, and there was
A school board meeting.
School board meeting. Yeah, not you and me.
No, we're good.
But school board meeting, and there was a statement made that some folks maybe don't know how to file a complaint that would actually be acted on. There's a difference between filing a complaint and just whining, and sometimes if folks need to just whine, then that's one thing, and I understand that. But if you truly want to have some action taken or the potential of action, there's a complaint policy that outlines how you have to do things, and that most of it is in writing within a certain time frame. Mm-hmm. And so, again, we can give you that policy if you want to come by the school. Email me, I'll scan it and send it to you. But we address everything that's brought to us. You may not always see it. You may not always get the results you want. And one thing that folks have to understand is when we start talking about teachers, you can go on Facebook and say all you want to say, but as a school administrator, we're not in a position where we can talk about school employees or our kids. Mm-hmm. And so it may be frustrating, but it's law.
I think some people don't realize that the school is actually a business. There's a chain of command. There's the teachers, the principal, the superintendent, the school board, and you don't just jump over everybody to the school board because it's just not how it.
Right. And they're not usually prepared for that type of stuff, and most of it they defer back to us, or all of it they typically defer back to us anyway. Yeah. So again, there's a plan in place, or a policy in place. We can get you the information, and again, we'd be glad to hear from you. And if you got real concerns, there are, just like we've talked about, if you really want to affect something, send me an email. If you just want to complain and whine about it, get on Facebook. That's what it's good for. So
not my Facebook page, please.
Yeah, Jack's Facebook page. Be fine.
All right.
So I think that's
wrap it up?
Yeah. So what is Renee going to do?
Enrollment.
We're not sure. She's going to do
fantastic.
jumping jacks here in a minute.
Yeah.
Watch
Fantastic.
this. This will be
All
good.
right.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Don't go away. Eddie Taggart will be here in just a minute and teach us how to do stuff with dirt, I think. So stay tuned. The All About Hennessey show is made possible in part by Vernos Wine Company at the historic Ranch Room, Hennessey. So Eddie's family has owned the Garden Center for how long?
31 years.
Oh, has it been south of town for that long?
Yes.
Oh, crap, I'm getting old. Okay,
So
well, I
am I.
remember before you had the retail side of it, it was out east of town.
Yeah, out on the family farm.
Yeah, and it was, as far as you could see, greenhouses and things like that. And it was mostly a wholesale operation at that time, was it?
Correct.
Okay. And then, so why in the world did you think to build a retail building out south of town?
For the foot traffic, retail, good location on the highway, mainly.
So just people driving by and remember, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, top of mind, you kind of makes you want to stop in and see what that place, because it's a real eclectic place. If you've never been in there, you're just going to go in there. I mean, even the sign that points where the bathroom is just enormous. I'm sure you get that question all the time.
I get asked a lot where it's at.
Where's the bathroom? So, like promised, here are the top 5 questions Eddie gets asked about gardening. You ready?
Ready.
That's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Oh, we could do that some more. All right, so these are the top 5 questions that Taggarts get asked every year. Number 1, what will grow here?
Typically, most of the varieties that we'll have, usually rated for Northwest Oklahoma. It's really hard to promise that everything will be spectacular for everyone because everybody's location.
So like a palm tree probably wouldn't cut it.
Or coconuts.
Yeah, a good plan. All right. Number 4, when is it safe to plant outside?
Listen to the weatherman. A lot of times it's difficult for us to predict the weather.
Now, those are the same guys that tell us it's going to snow and we're going to have tornadoes and things like that.
Always trust those guys.
We're in trouble. Number 3, what's the best tomato plant to grow?
It really depends on the size of the tomato that you want to end up with. You know, if a person wants great big tomatoes for hamburgers
I
and
want
slicers,
the ones that are on my hamburger at Gale's Grill.
Well, then some of the larger ones, there's many varieties that do grow larger tomatoes, but stay away from the ones that are little cherries unless you want to give those to the grandkids.
You could throw them like marbles. All right, number 2, do annuals come up every year?
Usually if they do, it's from seed. I always tell people annuals tend to bloom all summer long, and just like your taxes, unfortunately, very soon, you pay them annually.
Okay, and the top number 1 question Eddie gets asked every year is, what did I plant last year?
I have no idea.
Well, that was kind of a trip. What was that,
Short
like
one.
4 miles and
Yeah.
like a snap of your finger?
Like it.
Don't snap your finger, we'll go somewhere else.
Oh, no.
Okay,
Okay.
that's the trigger. All right, so what is this, March? Middle of March right now?
Correct.
So where are we in planting? Are we, in all sincerity, the top 5 things was kind of funny, but he does get a lot of really serious questions. And the cool thing about the Taggarts are they've been doing this so long that they really do know the answers to a lot of that kind of stuff. And so
And we even share them sometimes.
occasionally, if you're
Occasionally.
nice. Otherwise, you get an answer like we got when we were at the garden center. So where are we now in mid-March? Are we, what's kind of
Mid-March,
coming
usually
in?
around St. Patrick's Day, everybody has their seed potatoes, onion plants, onion sets, and then they're working with the cold crops like cabbage, cauliflower,
Okay.
broccoli, and Brussels sprouts.
And they don't
plants.
freeze out if we get that.
They'll handle a light frost, but not a really heavy
So you
freeze.
still should cover them a little bit
If you're nervous, it's best to put that safety procedure in there.
It never fails. Every single year we plant our flowers, we get a freeze and we're not home, and anyway. So we
And that's
plant
okay.
We plant twice every year, which you enjoy.
We enjoy it.
Yeah, so you just go buy more plants, that's all. And then, all right, so now after the cold growing season, are the vegetables the next step, or are we doing flowers, or does that kind of go simultaneous?
Well, usually about the middle of April, everybody gets excited more for the tomato plants, pepper plants, and then they're curious about when they can plant their summer blooming annuals, such as periwinkles and petunias. And it's a little, whenever you feel the weather's going to be straight, from there out, usually it's about the middle to the end of April. Somewhere in there, you're pretty safe.
Okay.
But in Oklahoma,
Usually about the time we get our first tornado warning is usually the trigger that you might
exactly.
be okay.
And usually in Oklahoma, you're never out of the woods until.
Well, we had a nice
May.
storm in October, and I know we've had snow into May even, and okay, not a lot of snow, but we have had some, and now, I mean, although that you're all about plants and vegetables and all that kind of stuff, you have a lot of stuff in the front showroom.
Yes, we try to accommodate a lot of the needs that people tend to have. Now, as a caveat, we don't have everything, but, for small town Hennessey.
It's pretty good. I mean, the tools, gardening tools, pots, the potting soil, all of that kind of fertilizing stuff, chemicals, I noticed, bird feeders.
Bird feeders. I don't carry any bird seed. It's really hard for me to keep it fresh and that kind of thing, but,
Yeah,
hummingbird
birds
feeders
don't
and
like
things
stale bird feed.
Yeah, they don't like
Oh,
it.
it's awful. Yeah.
My cattle do.
And then like watering cans and then out front when you're stocked, you've got like an enormous selection of like mulch and
Yeah, we try to keep a good selection of bagged goods, potting soils, mulches, and that type of thing. So.
And the cool thing, once again, about buying it from the Taggarts rather than a box store is they can tell you what will work with what it is you bought. You
Yeah,
know?
and primarily we try to really help the customer get it to the vehicle and get it loaded, and rather than you're on your own kind of thing.
Now, you don't come and plant it for me, though.
You wouldn't want me to.
Because his best interest would be to plant it upside down and then you come buy more.
Yeah, I don't know which ends up.
Yeah, okay. Very, very cool. Now, I know that your mom and dad started the retail thing, and then you've been running it now for quite a while, and now your daughter is...
Correct. She's back into the family business, and hopefully that she takes an interest in it and continues to.
Looks like she enjoys herself. I was there today, and they were planting some little seedling flowers. I don't know what you call a flower seedling, but they were having a good time joking around. I commented that you guys are having entirely too much fun doing this.
Yeah, so they have too much fun. I take them off the clock.
I love it. So what else do we need to know about the garden center? I mean, if I think of it, I'll put a link in the description below of the We're Going In episode I did where I talked about the adobe building and how the timbers were all, how you built the thing and that kind of stuff, because that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, that episode was very nice.
Cool. Good deal. And I actually rode in a wagon. I'll for sure put the link in here so you can go back and watch the wagon.
People talk about the wagon.
Yeah, I got a lot of comments about that. Yeah. Notice I didn't ride the wagon today.
No, not today.
All right. So before we jump off of here, a couple of quick things. I wanted to, if you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to hit the follow or subscribe button and then the little bell next to the subscribe button. And that way, every time we post a show, you'll actually get an email notifying that we have put a new show up, where Facebook doesn't do that. It's not real good about that. So YouTube is actually a better format to watch this type of thing. And then if these shows are getting a little long-winded, remember this is a podcast. You can listen to this on all the popular podcast platforms, all the Google, there's several Google, there's all of the i products, iTunes, podcasts, whatever, as well as Amazon type things, and I don't know them all. Anyway, so be sure to check it out there. Anything else you want to throw out there, Eddie? Any words of wisdom?
I don't have much words of wisdom.
Nothing?
Come
Okay.
see us.
Come see and Eddie and the family and Taggarts and get stuff growing. Good deal.
Yeah, we're there 9 to 6, Monday through Saturday, Sunday 1 to 5.
Awesome. Very cool. Thanks, Eddie.
Anytime.
See you next week.